Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Orange Life. Thanks for coming back, guys. I just wanted to clear up a few things about the Naziah Harris video that I did. Um, yes, I got the date wrong. When I looked up the date, it was two different dates. So I picked the wrong one, basically. So my apologies for that because some people thought that that was the most important thing out of my video. Um, Also with Shannon, I said Shannon and twin sisters, where Shannon is one of the twin sisters. Again, when I was looking into this, they referenced Shannon, then they referenced twin sisters. So I thought that there was Shannon, and then there were a set of twin sisters. But apparently, Shannon is one of the twins. Now, I did say in my video that I wasn't going to go into the case itself because I didn't do a deep dive on the case. I didn't do a deep dive because of the fact I've worked with children before for many years, children and adolescents, and I have worked on high profile cases along with other cases in my city. And when I say high profile cases, I mean cases that were in the news. We've had some horrific stories here in my own city. And at that time, I was working with a team of doctors I was working with some really great psychiatrists at this time, and I was able to sit in teams and also in treatment teams of some of these cases, and I worked with children. And what I'm going to say to you guys is, I didn't go deep into the case because it was very triggering. During the time that I worked with adolescents and children, I had difficulty sleeping. I cried sometimes when I came home. um it was In the beginning, it was rewarding when I first started working with children and adolescents because we had kids coming in, and they turned out better. We had a good time with the kids. It's some kids that I really enjoyed working with. There are some of the kids now that are now adults that follow me on Facebook, and or they follow me on Instagram. They'll find me because when I worked with kids, I really enjoyed it, and the kids appreciated me. So I got to meet a lot of good kids who just have great hearts, sweet kids, but just were born into bad circumstances. So but after a while, things start getting more and more and more dark. And I think what did it for me is there was one case with this one girl where her father was essaying her since she was a little girl. Her mother found out about it, and there was, of course, was a case. Her mother had a certain career here in the city where she could have been on television because people knew who she was. So her case was kept quiet, and her daughter wound up missing right before she was supposed to testify against her father. And to this day, she still has not been found. So after that case, I resigned because that was just it for me. That was it for me because she was a beautiful, I'm not saying she's deceased because I don't know. She could have ran away. I don't know. But she was a beautiful girl. She was at the top of her class. She was so smart, so sweet, and she had a light about her. And I used to I always poured into her every day and tell her how beautiful she was and how smart she was. And I would ask her different things because she was really good with numbers. So I was asking her about, different things as far as when the kids were doing their homework and they would come to me about some of this stuff. I'm like, listen, how do I do this mess? Y'all better go ask her. I'm dumb. Right? I always, joke with the kids and stuff, and I would always tell them to go ask her. She was good with numbers. And while she was, at the hospital, I had paid one of the staff to do her hair because she was used to getting her hair done all the time. And her hair was a mess. So I paid one of the staff to come in and do her hair that would make her feel better. So I really gravitated to her. She was such a sweet girl. And I also did something else that I shouldn't have done for her, and I'm not going to say what that is because if it ever gets out, the even though I don't work for them anymore, it's just something I didn't do anything, immoral. I just didn't sign something I was supposed to sign, and I did that to keep her in the hospital a couple extra days, up until her trial date. She was supposed to leave, but she was fearful to leave, and I was like, she really, really was afraid. Like she came to me just like frantic. So I was off the weekend and I didn't do something I was supposed to sign something. And not just sign something, but I had to do some other things. Because not signing that one piece of paper didn't stop her. Anybody could have signed it. But I did any nurse, I'm not gonna say anybody, any nurse could have signed it. It was some other things I didn't do on purpose so that she could stay the weekend because she had court on Monday. So she was released. She left that Monday and she was supposed to go straight to court. Her mother did pick her up to go to court. We bought her an outfit for court because we liked her. So we bought her this really cute little outfit, made sure her hair was done, and she was sad. She was crying. She said she didn't want to do it. She was very afraid. And I told her, you have to get your power back. I said, remember, in therapy we talked about how this is going to help, you have a better life and to get your power back and things like that. So I was reminding her of her therapy. And when she left that day, we found out that they were on their way down there and they stopped to get something to eat, and she asked to go to the bath. She went to go to the bathroom, and the mother hasn't seen her since, and that did it for me. That did it for me because and it that was just the straw that broke the camel's back for me because of the other things that I saw, the other things that I've experienced working with kids. Because I'm gonna give you one more, and then I'm going to close out this video because basically it was just trying to clear up some things. I had a 13-year-old Hispanic boy before, and his mother actually came and got him out of treatment because he sold narcotics to pay the bills for the family. This is what the mother did. And this is what this child is doing at 13. He was the man of the house. Now, understand in the Hispanic culture, when you have male children after a certain age, they're considered to be the men of the house. But a 13-year-old boy selling narcotics to pay bills in a home. Anyway, and then, oh yeah, this is the best one. I should have led with this one, y'all. I actually got into a fist fight. I'm actually fighting on my unit a mother who came up to the hospital to get her daughter's food stamp card, who is 14 years old, because she had a baby. She had a baby from her mother's boyfriend, and the mother wouldn't put the boyfriend out. And she came up there going off about a food stamp card. And I told her that we weren't allowed to give it to her. She is currently, in treatment, and we are not allowed to go in her things. So she's screaming and hollering at the door, talking all crazy that the other kids is hungry and this, and the third, and she better do this and she better do that. And I told her, I said, Miss, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. Well, this woman actually pushed me to try to get past me. Well, that's when I started swinging. So, because listen, don't get this all twisted. I might be a professional, but I'm only one generation out the hood. So she pushed me, so we started swinging. So I had to give her a two-piece, and because I have brothers, I was raised by mostly boys and men in my family, so I was taught how to fight. So I gave her a two-piece, and then security came and everything. I got suspended, because you're not supposed to touch, you're supposed to do that, even though it was justifiable. But I got suspended because you're still, at a job. I'm still a professional, but I'm also human. So, and I wasn't, and in all actuality, I could have gotten her the card. To tell you the truth, I could have. I wasn't going to. So, that was the thing. And I think she knew that. I think she knew I could get it. And that's probably why she was acting the way that she was acting. But I wasn't giving that to her because the child told me she didn't want her to have it. So if she didn't want her to have it, then you ain't getting it. So, that was, that's what I'm saying. That's just another story. That's a light story. That's light. I've had way. I'm not going into what the stories that I have had in my career that were just, I can't even talk about those. It's just too much. But the reason why I'm bringing this video is that, and then another point, the reason why I'm bringing this video is just to clear up some things for you guys, because sometimes people just need clarity. And so, my apologies for the incorrect information as far as the her date of missing and Shannon being the twin sister. Also, people have an issue with me saying that men are born sexually deviant by nature. What I need to do is I need to change my wording. There is research to back that up, but again, I'm going to change my wording because of the simple fact, and I might do a separate video on it and change my wording, and then also show you where I got it from and how it exists, why it exists, and give you some examples. I think that'll be better for everyone to understand, and I'll do it in a way that it doesn't seem like I'm attacking men, because I'm not attacking men. The purpose of this video is to show, more so to show women what you need to be aware of when it comes to men, so that you won't go through some of these things that you go through with men, because these this is a man's world, and these men are able to do things that women cannot do, and men get away with a lot more things in society than women do, even when it comes to crime. Women are punished more harsh than men when it comes to certain crimes, because again, this is a man's world. The laws are not made for women and children, and we need stiffer laws for men who hurt women and children, because the laws are not strong enough. And the reason why the laws are not strong enough is because of men, because men know about other men's deviancy. They know about it, they know it exists. And also, these laws are there to protect the rich men. That's what they're there for. So that, because all these laws have guidelines of sentencing from mild to severe. And when you're a rich white man, if you do get caught up in a high profile case, the only time a white rich man will get hard time is if it's a highly publicized, egregious case. If it's something on a lower scale, like locally, where just, the local guy and it don't make the news, they don't get time like that. Just like, look at this monster here. Jarvis only got 10 years for assaulting a 4-year old and giving her a disease. He should have never been able to leave. You're talking about a 4-year old. So that's what I'm saying. The laws are not made for women and children. How is this man able to get that? At 10 years, that little girl is 14. So let's say he lives in the same area as this child. What if this child is just at the mall or somewhere and she see him in the mall? What is that going to do to her? That's what I'm saying. These laws are not made for women and children. They don't care about women and children in this society. And I'm not going to say they don't care. What I'm saying is, laws are not strong enough. And until women get together and say enough is enough, we need stronger laws to protect women and children, then it's not going to change, because these men go in and out like a revolving door. The only time these men get stiff sentences is if it's a high profile case. Like I said, like with this one, with this guy, this is a high profile case. Now, there is an unaliving involved with it, so his time would be longer. But I'm talking about men who do this where there's not any unaliving being done. So if these cases, because I've seen it, I've lived it. When I say lived it, I've been in court. I've seen this stuff. The sentencing for this stuff is nothing compared to what actually happens. How do you let a man out that assaults a 4-year old and gives the child a sexually transmitted disease? How? How is that even possible? He should be in jail for life. You ruined a little girl's life. She'll never be the same. She was 4. So for the rest of her life, she has to deal with an assault. It's disgusting. So if she has to live with an assault the rest of her life, why is he able to get out and have a life? How is that even possible? So that's what I'm saying. This is why I did the video. It needs to be more focused on these types of things. It's too many women and children leaving here under the hands of men like this. And the reason why I brought up the sexual deviancy by nature is because women have to pay more attention to the men around you. You cannot ignore some of these things. You can't think this stuff is cute. Men that are hypersexual, you got to watch out for them. It's so many things. It's so many things under this umbrella. It is ridiculous. And people don't want to hear it. Women don't want to hear it because they don't want to look at their men. They want to keep their men. And men don't want nobody to say it because they don't want their secrets to be out. That's all it is in a nutshell. And I'm not saying every man is like this. What I'm saying to you is that men, there is a nature with men that if it's not nurtured properly, and if the man is not socialized and brought up in a certain way, he will have some sort of sexual deviancy. It's all that's going to be what it is. Women don't have sexual deviancy. It's not a part of our nature. What it is that women become sexually deviant because of men. It starts with assault. It starts with a man assaulting a woman. That's what it starts with. It also starts with women's affinity of wanting a man, women's affinity of wanting male attention, male validation. It's so many things that go into that. So that's why I said that's going to be another video down the road. I don't even know if I'm going to do a video like that again because people get too triggered. They get upset. Stuff like this, people get triggered and upset. And you know, I don't even enjoy doing these types of videos. I actually don't, but I try to bring awareness because I've seen worse. And I can't even, if I was to tell y'all some of the stories that I've actually lived through as being a nurse on the team, I would have y'all up in here crying. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I've had y'all up in here crying, some of y'all. If I told you, I got one story in particular that if I told it, you wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. You would kiss your kids. I'm telling you now. So that's why I said that's why I did the video. So I had good intent with it, but it seemed to, for some people, they're not really seeing what I'm trying to put out there. I'm trying to put out there to pay attention to these men around you, especially pay attention to these men that have had issues growing up themselves because of some of this is another thing that no one really wants to talk about either. There are plenty of men that have had sexual sexual experiences that were inappropriate, and some of these men were sexually assaulted themselves as children. You hear stories all the time about a boy who was 13, 12. There was plenty of men that said stuff about that, about older women touching them and stuff like that. And again, the woman doing that to a child, it was done to her. That's the point I'm making. It's like this is crazy. So that's what I'm saying. You know what? I'm going to end this because this is going to turn into another long video, and that's not what I wanted. I'm just wanted to get on here and clear up a couple things. You guys have a great one. I'll be back with another video, and I'm coming back with a lighter topic because this one is just too much. And I just can't keep going through this with y'all. So, y'all, you guys have a great one. I appreciate all the feedback. I don't mind, constructive criticism. I don't mind people correcting me. That's what makes this channel better. I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back soon.